Greetings everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Let's get into it. So we finally have access to the ineluctable prison. And I want to go through this before we head back to Dresden. Because I believe it's basically the last real main story mission before you would technically go ahead and head to the main area. So we're going to go ahead and get through with this. And actually, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and handle all the buffs. Okay, I think we're properly buffed up now. Let's go ahead and get into it. Whoops. Lich is still, there we go. Ooh. Oh, that, I don't think there's anything on here, right? Yep. Oh, wait, no. What's this?
I'm rather proud of this.
Blood gushes down in a never-ending stream. It is unlikely that it came from the prisoners themselves. Most probably, this blood was created by the nightmarish reality of this abyssal realm. An imposing gate of dark metal stands a good 20 feet tall. Twisted faces cover the doors, grimacing and groaning in torment. Embedded in one of the doors is some kind of intricate moving puzzle with a large gaping keyhole in the center. You feel a great many dead souls trapped in this cold metal, bound in eternal suffering. All you need to do is reach out, and you'll touch them with your power. Inspect the gate. The stench of pain and terror seems to radiate from the metal itself. You have to exert your will to approach the gate. Listen to the murmuring faces. You focus on the tangled whispers and suddenly feel as though a pit of pain, madness, and suffering has yawned open under your feet. You plummet downward as thousands of faces recount the indescribable horrors they endured in life and after death. You will yourself to emerge from this sinister maelstrom. Touch one of the doors. Only upon closer inspection do you notice the virtually invisible barbs, short and thin as a strand of hair, that densely cover the metal. You see bloodstains and scraps of skin hanging on the sharp needles. The moment you touch the dark metal, a repulsive vibration runs through your fingers. For the briefest instant, the faces on the gate seem to forget their torment and sneer at you. Your vision blurs, you taste bile, and it feels like your entrails are turning into deranged snakes, slithering inside and trying to strangle each other, as if your very core was trembling along with this vibration. Lower religion, inspect the metal of the doors. It is clear that this is not steel, iron, or any of the metals or alloys known to you. It appears that this substance consists of the essence of the abyss itself, and the suffering souls magically fused with it. Knowledge Arcana, recognize the spells that were used to enchant the gate. It does not take long for you to identify the strongest spell, the magic of the dimensional lock. Judging by its power, Baphomet cast it himself. The Lord of Beasts has secured his prison from any attempts to get in or out by arcane means. Moving around using magic is possible only to those who have been granted Baphomet's special permission. In your examination, one of the faces, its brows furrowed in torment, whispers, "Help us." We have this option to unlock the gate using Inger Mager's key. This was actually a one of those random fights that can happen on the world map. For whatever reason, it didn't happen during my original run, but when I came back through here with Char, I was approached by this guy with two huge worms that I had to fight. It wasn't a particularly tough battle, but when I looted him, he had a key on him. I was wondering what that key was for, but I guess it allows you to unlock this gate in case you were not able to pass either one of these skill checks. Hopefully we can pass the tricky one. Let's see. An experienced burglar can pick any lock, even one crafted by powerful demons. Working with startling precision and speed, you elicit a clunk from the lock, and the doors slowly begin to open. The doors budge, and the hinges squeak quietly and tragically. What's this? An incursion? Hold off the intruder. Let his bones join the myriad others. You're being examined by a pair of watchful eyes that seem disproportionately large in the thin, haggard face. Every now and again, the transparent film slides over them, a serpentine blink. The demon observes you for a while, then gives a satisfied nod. So this is the creature that has paid us a visit. A fine specimen for my collection. I'd be honored to make a stuffed animal out of the blasphemer who dared to wound our lord. Who are you supposed to be? The Monolith responds casually, still looking you over with commanding confidence, like she's expecting pork tenderloin at a butcher shop. I'm the warden of this prison, Aponavicius. All here, both guards and captives, are my toys. Now you'll become one too. What is this place? This is the ineluctable prison, the greatest jail that has ever existed. Here, Baphomet's captives languish and experience unthinkable torment. Then their bones join the myriad others that belong to those who were confined here before. You better not stand in my way. Oh, we have an exhilarating game ahead of us. Don't disappoint me. First, I'll neatly slice open your skin from groin to nape, then slowly peel it back from the flesh like a tight-fitting dress. That will take a few days, but then, at last, you will appear before me completely nude, and even a light breeze will cause you unbearable pain. Then, I'll dissect your abdomen and start pulling out your internal organs, very carefully so as not to damage them. My magic will ensure that you don't die, and when you're finally empty, I'll get to filling you. I think I'll choose gold coins and gems for the stuffing. You deserve nothing less. Then I'll put your skin back on and stitch you up with an adamantine thread. Her eyes glint with excitement, and her tongue licks her thin lips sensually. You don't scare me. I fought Baphomet and he wasn't that tough. Talk all you like. For every insolent word, you'll pay with horrible suffering. When I'm done stuffing you, I'll keep you alive as a wordless, motionless statue. And after each of my master's visits, I'll carefully stitch you back up, putting you back together piece by piece so that your torture does not stop even for a moment. Yeesh. Alright, we can go over there, but I think that's the direction we need to go to advance, so we'll go here instead. More pickups.
A trivial task.
If you don't knock those things down, they do some sort of it's an aura they put out that is not cool for you and your peeps. Viscous, dark blood is seeping from the bone walls. This is a big place. If you didn't already recognize, there's a lot going on here.
I'm gone. This will be quick.
Alright. Hate when it does that. Why are you wasting my slots? Alright, door here, door there. You know what? Maybe I was supposed to go the other way. I'll deal with that puzzle in a moment.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
There we go. The pentagram flashes ever so slightly, then quickly fades. Pretty sure that means I failed it. Yeah, I don't think any of us have used. Char has the best used magic device skill. Yeah, I don't think none of us are all that great at it, unfortunately. But it still lets us get this. Writing is carved on the corpse's chest. I blame the commander of the Crusaders for my death. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's that? The rivulets of blood running down the wall form crooked writings. They read, "At first I was empty. Then I was filled with three things: wisdom, guile, and malignity." Is that for the puzzle? At first I was empty. Then I was filled with three things. Actually, I wonder if the other door gives you another part of the puzzle. Because I don't remember off the top of my head what this thing was. I'm pretty sure I have some notes on it, though. How's the horse doing? Horse is doing fine. Okay, cool. What is up with that? Regular stuff. A distorted reflection appears in this cloudy mirror only after a while. It emerges and laughs in your face. A bloody slash gapes on its throat.
I'm off.
Alright, I already know that is the way down, which means up here. Yep. Which means whatever's up here, we need to go ahead and get now. What is that? Oh. They all are getting that shade because I have on dark aura from, or light aura rather, from, whoa. Why are you, oh, radiance upgraded. So of course you lost it. So what is it now? +6 spell resistance. It also deals 2d6. Why is it only say? Oh, in the hands of an evil aligned mythic creature, it becomes a Bane living avenger. Okay, but I guess it's not gonna. Oh wait. Evil aligned mythic creature. So that means in order to get the most out of it, it must be mythic? Damn. You can't just stick it in a party member's hands and get the full use out of it. I didn't realize that. Oh well, okay. And the rest of this makes sense as well. Rows of cell bars stretch into the distance and disappear in the darkness, as if this prison has no end. Perhaps that is exactly the case. In any abyssal realm, everything bends to its owner's will, even space itself. Okay.
I do what I must.
Now that's over. Let's go back by the pool. Am I going the right way? Yeesh, I hope so. And nope, I'm not. Dog it. Here we go. Okay. Now we know. First to a circle and triangle. I'm pretty sure the pentagon was involved in it. And, ooh, lovely. Oh, just up the cell. Okay, cool. Excellent. Now we can move on to the next level. A menacing, horned figure appears in the mirror's reflection. The sharp, hateful gaze pierces you, and you can almost feel your soul being turned inside out. I see you, mortal. Is it your own folly that has driven you to my realm? Or do I sense Nocticula's hand in this? Ever since war broke out between us, she has gone to ground, preferring to send her pawns to fight in her stead. You must have outlived your usefulness to her, if she has sent you to sacrifice yourself in such a pointless manner. You do realize that, no matter what she has promised you, she will not be coming to protect you this time. She is no match for me here in my realm, so you are completely alone. What is this place? This was once the place of my own imprisonment. Asmodeus, enraged by my attempt to steal from him, confined me here for an eternity of torment. Lamashtu had renounced me and left me to rot, but, as you can see, I managed to slip away and take this little toy with me. Now the ineluctable prison is the heart of my realm in the abyss. No soul can escape from here, be it a prisoner or a slave who gave their life for me, all for the most worthless cultist, the Hepzibah, whom I killed in the mines of Califair, remain here, for they are all mine. How did you escape from Asmodeus' prison? You would never understand, mortal. Imprisonment begins here. Baphomet presses a claw to his forehead against the burning, bleeding pentagram of Asmodeus. Once I had passed through the maze of my own mind. I tricked it by destroying the very notion of imprisonment. I created a lie where I was free and made the multiverse itself believe. What? Too complicated for you to follow? That's understandable. Even I couldn't fathom these mysteries at first. It took me years to ponder the knowledge given to me by Ereshkigal, the faceless Sphinx. What do you want from me? Kneel before me and break the oaths you've sworn to your masters, for only thus may you mitigate the punishment that awaits you. Very soon, my hosts will put an end to this foolish venture you call a crusade. Do you know why this place was named the Ineluctable Prison? The Prince of Darkness Asmodeus, upon creating this maze, willed that none would ever escape its walls. There were no mere words. It was an enchantment, a definitive, indisputable order. Many souls have perished here since. The most cunning and dexterous of thieves would come to test the magic of Asmodeus, and not one of them would make it back out. I was the only one who found a loophole in Asmodeus' decree. I did not simply find my way out of the maze. I took it back into the abyss with me, turning it into a realm of my own. What about you, mortal? What is your escape plan? What key will you use to unmake the sorceries of the Ineluctable Prison? How will you find your way through the tangled corridors of my labyrinth? What hope can you possibly have of matching me? The way can't be found. It can only be made. There's surprised approval in Baphomet's voice. A clever answer. You'd make a bright slave. When you're groveling at my feet, I might consider re-educating you. A primal scream of pain hits your ears. The walls shudder. You hear something crumble with a dull, thundering noise in the distance. The floor under your feet shifts like the undulating back of a beast rudely awakened. I take it my minions have resumed their work on the angel. To observe his agony is an exquisite delight. It feels as if I am experiencing that unbearable pain myself, and you will experience it as well. Okay, I don't think there's a way to avoid that damage. Just gotta go ahead and eat it. Okay. Save here and now Arcana.
Easy.
I really enjoy Baphomet as a character, and I love the way his voice actor handled him. So it always kind of sucks to me when there's no voice acting, because I think he's so awesome.
A test of my abilities.
Meeting him in Act 4. Oh crap! Did I miss? Yep, I missed that. Okay, here we go. Oh, those are the bombers. Forgot. Pharasma, I beg you, take me from this dreadful place and let my soul be judged. Ooh. Now we're gonna go ahead over here.
I'm gone.
Be gone, fiend!
How dare you? Who is he hitting up like that? Whoever he's doing that to, we do not appreciate it. Did he just... Yeah, it's okay, cool. They're done for. Divine Seer? Did you give me anything interesting? No, we're good. What's this door? Howling Doom. Whenever the wielder of this +5 furious bastard sword lands a killing blow, it casts Greater Shout as an 18th level wizard immediately afterwards. So I'm okay. Pretty sure this is not the way to continue forward, so we should be able to do any side stuff here. Go in this direction. Ba-ba.
My aid.
Go ahead. Castiglia, I'm gonna let you chill for a while. I'm not gonna worry about it. There we go. Everybody else is good. We'll move forward. Perception check failed. Castiglia. Nothing's popping up here.
We do it my way.
Something over there.
It's a trap. That is the way down. Okay. Where is this? That's the way forward. Alright, so that is the area to the next level. So we need to instead go back. I'll be back in just a moment. Go. Alright. Yeah, this rolling ball thing is so weird to me. Because it rolls right over you and your party, so it's not like it consistently does damage. So I'm just confused. I'm confused by the whole thing. It's like they wanted to make this a trap area, but then, or maybe I'm just missing something, and it's not meant to damage you. Maybe it's just, ooh, I have been looking forward to this meeting. Maybe it's just meant to be visual. I don't know, but it's weird. These scrolls look so old they might crumble to dust at a single touch.
I'm off.
The bed is covered with old, moldy sheets that haven't been changed in a long time. Come on, open up. There we go. The drooling Demodan stares at you dully. An unfinished golem with small gems installed in its eyes. The bookshelf is full of rare arcane tomes, so ancient that even the dust that rests on them is priceless. This undead was desiccated was dissected with great skill and care. The pages of this book are hopelessly ruined. It is no longer possible to read it. However, the soothing aura around it persists, despite Baphomet's minions' best efforts. What? Okay. This should be very interesting. I actually don't know what happens in this conversation. So, I am excited. I mean, I gotta assume there's some unique dialogue here, right? There's gotta be something. The room you're in looks more like a palace than a prison. Every part of it is impeccably clean, despite the fact that the cell's inhabitant has been dead for millennia. The words coming out of the dead man's mouth catch you off guard. Why, hello there, my dear. I've been waiting and waiting, wondering what my guest was up to and why he hadn't shown up yet. Don't be shy. Have a seat. Eat to your heart's content. When you're something important, you don't talk business standing up now, do you? And we do indeed have business to discuss. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Alderpash, Rune Lord of Wrath, a destroyer and a conqueror, the great tyrant of Bakrakhan. Doesn't ring any bells? I understand. Many millennia have passed, and all of them I spent in this prison as Baphomet's captive. It's been a while since I've strolled around Golarion. My heart was still beating back then. It wasn't until later that I became a Lich. Wasn't fond of the idea of dying a prisoner here, you see? Well, that's all beside the point. The guards tipped me off that you had bars into this prison, and I thought fate might bring you to my doorstep. I've been expecting you since. Rumors about you have been going around the abyss for a while now. Rumors fly free, you see. Can't snare them, can't cage them. Even down here in the deepest dungeons, a tale flies by every now and again. About the time you took Dresden from the demons, or about the time a goddess and a demon came to coax you to their side. I've long since wanted to see you for myself and take your measure. You feel the dead eyes fix their gaze on you. I see. That explains it. They say that your deeds could not have been performed by a simple mortal, but you're not simple at all. A creature of life and death, a wanderer between the light and the dark. I've met someone like you only once, and she, too, accomplished quite a lot in her strange half-life. I want to know more about you. By all means, I see no reason not to tell you. I've got some impressive stories to share. I was a great tyrant in life. The good folk were scared witless of me. And in death, as you can see, my power is nothing to sniff at. I continue my explorations on magic, the kind that your generation knows nothing about. Go ahead, my dear, ask away. He gives you a benevolent smile. So we have a common enemy in Baphomet. Indeed. Alas, I haven't had the pleasure of wounding him by my own hand, although I'd dearly love to spill his guts. Yes, I've heard about your feat. Ever since he rushed back to his abyssal realm and locked himself up in his citadel, everyone's been going on and on about you, my dear. What kind of mortal is this that managed to injure our mighty lord? Alderpash lowers his voice in a confiding manner. He won't soon forget you. He may be ancient, but he's such a child at heart. He's been the same ever since he was created. All he cares about are his grudges. Asmodeus wounded him. Lamashtu left him. Deskari doesn't see him as his equal. Nocticula refused to bed him. He's a walking collection of scars. His wounds are his essence. So you take heed now. Tell me of your great accomplishments. They don't teach you youngsters anything these days. Then listen well. 10,000 years ago, there was the great empire of Thessalon, and no nation of today could hold a candle to its glory. It was led by Emperor Zen in accordance with the 7 virtues of rule. His reign was long but ended in tragedy. Zen was deposed by 7 stewards who then split Thessalion between them. They twisted the virtues of rule for the sake of their ever-growing power and created the magic of the 7 vices. By the way, those spells of yours, all those silly schools, they were all based on our concepts, except you lot have lost track of their substance, the power itself. over the centuries. These 7 great mages of yore called themselves the Rune Lords, the first of whom was me, Alderpash, Lord of Bakrakhan, Rune Lord of Wrath. I'm not going to list all my deeds, that would be boastful, but let's just say I spilled enough blood to fill all the rivers of Golarion, and the tears my axes brought could fill the same thrice over. Yes, my reign was grand and glorious, and they would tremble at the mention of my name for many centuries to come. You don't look like a villain to me. Alderpash snickers gleefully. Why, that's because I'm not one. They just call me that, and for what? Was putting 7,000 slaves on stakes for their rebellion an act of villainy? I had the well-being of others in mind. I gave them a warning so they wouldn't die a horrible death. As for plundering neighboring kingdoms and beheading my servants, there's no evil in that at all. That's just the daily life of any ruler. I am prone to fits of temper, yes, but only when there's a good reason. If someone failed me, I'd smite them without mercy, it's true, but such lack of restraint is a part of my power and my talent. That's just how we Rune Lords of Wrath are. I remember about 1,000 or so years after I was first thrown in here, a woman by the name of Alasnus came to visit. She was a fierce one too, ripped my skull off and took it with her as a trophy. Then she went to Bakrakhan, found the one who was the Rune Lord of Wrath at the time, the third one after me, executed his wife and 7 children, and made the ruler himself into an undead. She kept whispering to my skull, asking for advice. She really took a shine to me. She was something, that one, the last Rune Lord of Wrath in history, mind you. So I'm not angry with her about the skull. Why would I be? I was reborn from my phylactery anyway. Good as new. Where do you keep your phylactery? Alderpash smirks slightly. What a curious question. And what, pray tell, do you need this knowledge for, my dear? Methinks you shouldn't be troubling that clever young head of yours with secrets like that. Let's say you find out where it is. Then what? Let's say you destroy it. But why would you? We're not enemies, we're allies. Besides, you couldn't find it if you tried. I'm no buffoon. My phylactery is hidden in a safe place far from here. His soft, harmless chuckle could have fooled many, but you notice his hand twitching as soon as you mention the phylactery. I want to learn more about your magic research. Oh, my dear, I've been keeping busy with all sorts of things over the centuries. I bet you youngsters haven't even heard a whisper about our magic of sin. When Baphomet locked me in here, he wrapped me up in his spells good and tight. The enchantment was so powerful it bound my soul to this very cell. The things I've attempted to circumvent his handiwork, conjuring golems to spread my power beyond the walls of this prison, moving my consciousness into other bodies, so many minds obliterated in that particular effort, and all for naught. When I grew desperate, I whipped up some fanciful undead, just to vex Baphomet and lay waste to his jail. Must have slaughtered half the labyrinth, then stopped. It was too much of a hassle. I'm distracted at this point. But for you to understand my discoveries, you'd have to study my apprentice for an age or two. You know what kind of education mages used to get? Far beyond anything they teach these days. Needless to say, I've hidden my most valuable creations and treasures far from this place so that Baphomet can't get his hands on any of them. The guards assigned to me were so kind as to accept a modest bribe and carry them out of the prison and stow somewhere safe. You realize you don't have the knowledge to comprehend the depth of Alderpash's studies of the arcane. I walk the path of death myself and will soon become a Lich. I can see that, my dear. I can see everything. You'll have to excuse me, but I'm not about to start tutoring you. I will, however, offer a piece of advice. When you become a Lich, the first thing you should do is remember the names of all the advisors who knew you when you were alive and have them strangled, because they'll betray you. Every single one. Now everything is clear. Alderpash wags his finger at you. You spring chickens are all so hasty. Wait until your hair goes white, then you'll see how little was actually clear to you in your youth. Tell me about the ineluctable prison. Well, what are you interested in, my dear? I know a fair bit. My guards, you see, some of them like coin, and some are just afraid of me. So they tell me everything. I listen to their confessions each and every day. That's why I know all about the secret paths through this here maze, and a thing or two about the inmates. How do I find my way through the labyrinth? Well, what do you think demonic pathways are for? Haven't you seen the arcane symbols and scribbled all over the place? Those fiendish scribbles are the portals you need. They tie all the cells together, and the demons hop right through them. If there's a place you need that's of any importance whatsoever, it'll have a magic symbol like that. Who in this prison can help me fight Baphomet? Alderpash laughs, baring his strong, large, yellowish teeth. Oh, my dear, this dungeon is full of those who wish Baphomet ill. There's a catch, though. Most of them are dead as mutton. Not like me, I mean properly dead. Their bones are dust, nothing but a ghost left. They're not going anywhere. That's the magic of the ineluctable prison for you. They sit here all locked up and cry. Oh, how they cry. And when the angel was brought in to be tortured, they all found themselves a cranny to hide in. Take a peek between the stones. You might find someone who can tell you something useful. Tell me about the history of this place. The ineluctable prison is Baphomet's favorite toy, but no matter how much he brags about it, it's not of his making. Back when Baphomet was still a lusty young goat, he was itching to impress his mother and lover, Lamashtu, and he thought stealing the Prince of Darkness's most treasured scepter was a fantastic idea. Like any other foolish endeavor, it all ended in tears. Asmodeus caught the thief by the horns, gave him a good spanking, burned his cattle brand on Baphomet's forehead, and threw him into the ivory labyrinth to rot in darkness and utter rancor. That's where the Prince of Darkness made his blunder. As my subjects knew well, before imprisoning a thief, one should cut off both their hands, for that is the only way to wean them of this awful habit. Baphomet called to his esteemed mother, but Lamashtu refused to save such an embarrassment, and our little goat was left all alone. I don't know what he did to get the Demon Lord of Reskogal's attention, but she took a sudden interest in his troubles, and gave him a clue about how to escape. Don't go thinking she's some paragon of mercy, however. She's still a demon, and her gift was poisoned. In his attempts to make sense of Reskogal's words, our goat drove himself quite insane, which undoubtedly brought his benefactor a great deal of entertainment. Yet he managed to solve her riddle, and once he did, he stole the ivory labyrinth and brought it into the abyss. He couldn't leave, such was Asmodeus' will, but technically, he never left. He was still in the maze, a true rascal. The labyrinth became the heart of the realm that he formed in the abyss after his escape. He must have been feeling nostalgic about the good old days. How else can you explain the fact that he turned the seal burned on his brow by Asmodeus into his second personal symbol? I guess the little hornhead misses the good old days when he was tortured on the Prince of Darkness's rack. How did you end up here? I was betrayed, my dear. Sorshan, Rune Lord of Lust, was nothing compared to me, yet she wanted to take my place as the leader and found a source of truly legendary powers. Naturally, I was furious and thought I'd do away with the upstart. To even the odds, I made a deal with Baphomet. I borrowed a part of his might and promised to give him Sorshan when I was done playing with her. Ooh, she was a wild one. But the Lord of Bees came to me and demanded payment when I was just putting my cunning plans into motion. It goes without saying that Baphomet was more interested in taking me instead of some Sorshan. So, under the pretext of me breaking the terms of our pact, he seized me. A show of treachery on his part, yes. But what else could you expect from a demon? Not all prisoners are allowed this kind of luxury. Don't be fooled. This is all just Baphomet's idea of a joke. That weasel wants to remind me every day of how much I lost when he captured me. He went to the trouble of making myself look exactly like my chambers in Bakrakhan. My dear, sometimes I take one look at it and I just... He stops mid-sentence, clenching his fist until they crack, and you notice signs of repeated, rigorous restoration all around. Looks like Alderpash has had a number of fits of temper over the centuries of imprisonment. You notice that, contrary to what Alderpash has just said, not all of the interior of the cell belongs to the era of the Rune Lord's rule in Thessalon. Far from it. Many items in here came into use at a much later period in history, mostly those that are implements for the arcane arts. Everything is clear to me now. That's wonderful, my dear. The youth are so full of curiosity in this day and age. What sort of business do you have with me? Here's the thing, I've grown wary of sitting here and I can't escape. I've tried so many things, every trick in the book. Nothing. Baphomet placed enchantments on me that hold me in this cell and utterly refuse to let me walk out the door. And anti-magic spells have never been my forte. I've always believed incineration to be the best defense against enemy sorcery. And here I am, languishing in here. Would you, my dear, kindly help me escape? I'd make it worth your while. What do you say? What kind of payment will I get for helping you? I have something that could prove useful to you. Back when I still lived, I was interested in a certain plane called Jandalay, a remarkable place, a chimera of sorts, the graveyard for dead planets. Getting there is tricky, but I managed to capture one of the guardians of that plane. I wore them down in a torture chamber, rigging some of their knowledge from them before they perished. He traced an unfinished rune on the table with his finger. This is part of the rune of Jandalay that offers protection from chaos, a substantial asset in the war with the demons, don't you think? Help me regain my freedom, and I'll teach you or your servants how to inscribe this rune. What will you do if you get out of here? Alderpash says in a nonchalant tone, well, first I'll get my kingdom back. I'll enslave the populace, conquer my neighbors, maybe commit genocide against a particularly unruly nation, build myself an army by taking children from their mothers and putting the latter to the sword. Orphans make for loyal troops, you know. I'll clap everyone else in irons and make them work without a moment's rest until my coffers are overflowing. Those who are useless in both war and work will be cut down in mass sacrifices. Basically, I'll make myself comfortable and lead a quiet existence without bothering anyone. I'll set you free. Well then, how about you do me this favor? Kill Baphomet for me, and kill him for good. His sorcery will go poof, and I'll be free. He watches you closely, seemingly both with ridicule and a certain interest. Fine, that was a jest, my dear. As much as I wish to see the blasted goat bite the dust, we'll try another way for now, something craftier and easier. I've heard they have a rather curious scroll in this maze's sanctum. The spell it holds will cancel out any magic around it, and its power is formidable. A handy little thing, wouldn't you say? The only problem is the scroll was written using a special Syrian cipher that hardly anyone is familiar with. It's a good thing I've had a penchant for languages from a young age. Bring me this scroll, and it just might break Baphomet's magic. What sort of scroll is it? Ah, my dear, don't bore yourself with the dusty fables of old. There's some zealot priestess who was expecting the end of all things and the coming of the armies of darkness, so she wrote the scroll so that her descendants would read it when the hour was right and break the invaders' arcane powers. It's all balderdash, really. We rune lords must have taught our slaves and servants wrong. We were delving into the arts of commanding the powers of this world, yet our progeny, even the most talented one, keep hankering after ways to fawn over some god or other. Where should I look for it? One guard told me that the scroll is kept in one of the secret rooms of this prison. Unfortunately, the guard did not live long enough to tell me its exact location. Alderpash gives a shrug of disappointment. I'll find the spell. Alderpash nods affably. Do try your best, my dear. I'm counting on you. I have to go. He waves his hand absentmindedly. Yes, yes, off you go, my dear.
I do what I must.
So if you want to destroy him, his phylactery will be found here. But he's a fellow Lich. We'll go ahead and help him out. Oh, actually. Okay, so down. Is this down here? Yep. Cool. And then... should we go here? I don't remember where we came from. That looks blocked off. There's darkness over here.
Failure. My skills are absolute.
Midnight Bolt to replace the one that I had to use on Baphomet. That'll work nicely. Oh, right.
Life ends here.
Yeah, you're good.
You will be on to it.
One more. Baphomet's unholy symbol is covered in the blood of the innocent who were sacrificed before it. And this is the Angel's Heart. This amulet, you can wear it as an amulet, grants its wearer a 30-foot aura that can be activated, granting all allies a +1 bonus to AC and allowing them to ignore any damage reduction on attacks against demons. This aura can be active for 10 plus the wearer's charisma modifier rounds per day. Grimoire of the Beast. Oops. That, whatever this is. Grimoire of the Beast again.
I'm gone.
Alright. Got that. Back over here. Yeah, back up the stairs. Okay. So the Rune Lord is all the way over there. Nope. Still the wrong way. Did something wrong. Oh, there we go. Where I'm supposed to go here. Let's put some speed on it. Alright, now we're over here. This is just a secret room that's blocked off. So we have to continue on this way. Alright, so let's have this trap. We gotta do this first. Then deal with the trap after we get through with this convo. The Minotaur in your path suddenly sneers and opens his blood-red maw, and the low, mockingly cheerful voice of Baphomet comes out. I wonder when you'll finally accept your doom. You mortals are so amusing in your attempts to oppose us, the Lords of the Abyss. You fight, risk your necks, and make sacrifices, yet we still push you back without the slightest inconvenience. Do you think anyone will remember your self-sacrifice a scant decade from now? All will forget your name and the names of those who came before you. Your Golarion will be ruled by my mighty brood, with the blood of the Lord of Beasts himself coursing through their veins. My offspring will inhabit your lands, and soon the lineage of every living soul on Golarion will be traced back to me, and every breathing body will bear my burning seal. Areelu Vorlesh will lead my armies, and Golarion will drown in blood. You have entrusted your armies to Areelu Vorlesh? Yes, now that Hepzibah has failed me, Areelu Vorlesh has become my new general. She has already told me everything she could discover from Nocticula, and this knowledge has been quite valuable. What's more, Areelu still serves Deskari and reports all his orders and designs to me. She's proven herself a competent spy, despite her mortal origins. You hear a chuckle in Baphomet's voice. I have exalted Areelu and made her my first slave, but do not be so quick to underestimate me. I know full well that she will betray me whenever the opportunity presents itself, but I plan to betray her first. I've already defeated Hepzibah, your mightiest daughter. I'll handle the rest of them. You speak of Hepzibah as if you're hoping your words will wound me. You've killed one of my descendants, and her specter now wanders these halls. Am I supposed to care? I could spawn hundreds, thousands more. Among them, there will be those in whom my blood is stronger, and they will surpass Hepzibah. Believe me, I possess none of a father's sentimentality, for I am not a father to them, but their creator and their god. I met another one of your daughters, Horzala. Horzala bet everything, and lost. She invoked my name when she was on the brink of defeat, but I did not answer. Why would I? I'm not in the habit of playing favorites among my offspring. They must earn their place by tearing their competition to shreds. The weak must be weeded out to keep the blood strong. Horzala was stronger in a fight, but Hepzibah was more cunning and vicious, which is why she prevailed. Why should I nourish the shoots of the weaker branch when I could give all my attention to the one that's stronger? Tell me about your offspring, Egethiles. You know of him? That is a surprise. Hepzibah tried so hard to strike his name from the memory of the abyss itself. Igiphiles was always crafty and able, but he lacked zeal and ire. I valued his shrewd mind and his uncanny ability to lie, and I found it regrettable when Hepzibah disposed of him. I didn't interfere, of course. My children must fight among themselves. Only then can the strongest be revealed. Are you going to brand all your servants, or was Monago just lucky? I place various seals upon my slaves. There are those that grant power, those that bring delight, those that inflict pain, and those that simply mark their bodies as mine. Monago failed me, and I encouraged her to correct her mistake. The seals tormented her every breath, draining her strength, and only by destroying you could she be free of them. Unfortunately for her, she failed. Stop cowering behind your minions. Are they, my seed and my spawn, my faithful worshippers, not part of me? Do they even consider themselves separate from their master? You cling to the notion of individuality without realizing that your own self does not exist. You are but an instrument that has been grasped by several hands at once, and your destiny, your actions, and even your thoughts are theirs to control. You don't understand? No matter, you will. As you wander the darkness of my labyrinth for an eternity, you'll give up the illusion of selfhood. How will you know who you are then? Lore religion check passed. Recall the unholy texts of demon worshippers. Like you, I'll stop being a prisoner and become a monster. Baphomet lapses into silence and studies you. You don't even realize how alike we are, mortal. Know that, just as I once was, you have been betrayed by your own patroness. It's time for you to die. The Minotaur's body begins to swell and alter. Baphomet is pouring a generous dose of his power into it. You seek to battle me? I will sacrifice the body of one of my faithful to show you a fraction of my true might. And that's that. I'm confused. Oh, he's one of those mythic beasts, right? Okay, now you're down. Down. All good. Okay. Cut off the switch there. Destroy the obelisk. Bam, that's done. These words were scratched on the dead body with a knife. I was executed because you didn't surrender when you could, Commander. You'll be okay. It'll be alright. Alright, I think I have notes on this. Square, triangle, hexagon, pentagon. Let's see. Square, triangle, hexagon, pentagon, and yay! And another mask for Nanio. Excellent. Deadly Rays. This +5 Haramaki grants us wearer a +4 insight bonus on ranged touch attack rolls. Woljif is definitely a fan of that, and we have the question mask. Excellent. Alright, I think that's enough for one day. Hope all of you enjoyed the playthrough today. If you did, please leave me a like down below, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.